What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with the review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode number 12. And this episode was titled Sex, Lies, and Video Phones, you guys. So, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and discuss The Real Housewives of Atlanta, shall we? All right, you guys. So this episode, I have got to be honest with you guys. I was bored with it. Like, it just didn't give me anything. It's boring, boring. I know that they just filmed the reunion last week and the reunion looks were revealed. I believe it was Friday. I didn't really like those looks. It looked like they had the same color scheme as the Potomac ladies had this past season. And yeah, wasn't feeling anybody's look. Wasn't feeling anybody's look, you guys. And what I want for the ladies next season when they do their press interviews, please, for the love of God, stop talking about, oh, this season's gonna be good. This is gonna be a good season. Like, we really brought it this season. Where did y'all bring it at? Please explain it to me. Where did y'all bring anything? Because this season has been a dud. The first half of the season, I don't even remember, to be quite honest with you. And now these last few episodes, even with the cast trip, have been boring as all get out. But this episode opens up and it's the next day after the situation that happened with Candy and Drew, right? So Kenya, she wakes up and we see her talking to Manietta, and Kenya's talking about how she's feeling a lot better. She's able to stand up after having that horrible fall the day before, right? So they talked about how heated things got between Candy and Drew. So we find out that, at one point, I guess, Candy must have started calling Shamia, Cynthia, anybody who was in that trip last, season 13 when it went to South Carolina. And here's the thing. Why are we bringing up South Carolina and Bolo? Like, I don't get it. I really, truly don't. It makes absolutely no sense to me why we're bringing up something from 2 years ago. It don't matter if Drew kissed that girl or not. Why do we care? Like, I think that was the biggest thing for me. Like, why do we care who Drew kissed? It doesn't matter to me. So we also found out that Marlo recorded what was going on between Candy and Drew, and she sent it over to LaToya. I was like, oh, that's what we're doing? Okay, Marlo, I guess, right? So then, I guess when that happened, LaToya called Drew up, and she said, and LaToya said that didn't happen between her and Drew. So I don't know. I don't care. Now, what I will say is, Kenya said it in her interview. There's footage of you saying it at the reunion, which there is. So you guys just tell me what you guys believe. Do you guys believe Drew, Candy, and LaToya, or who do you guys believe? I really, honestly, I don't care. 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 I know that what's her name? Kenya said that she saw it, but I could have swore on season 13, Kenya had Brooklyn with her, and Kenya went upstairs. And after a while, when the stuff really got heated, Kenya wasn't there because she went upstairs with Brooklyn. I think the only people that were down there was like Cynthia, Drew, LaToya, Shamia, Portia, Candy, and Marlo. I think that like those were the main ones who were downstairs. But I know I'm pretty positive I remember that Kenya wasn't there because they talked about that in season 13. Because again, remember Bolo. Never mind. That's neither here nor there, right? So then the next morning we see Drew and Sheree, they're talking, right? And Drew is still sticking to the story that it didn't happen. You guys, let me once again reiterate. I don't care if Drew kissed anybody. Like, whoever she kisses, that's her business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And, you know, although I don't see it for Marlo, Marlo said something that I definitely agree with at one point in this episode. These girls are always talking about, you know, kissing each other, feeling on each other and stuff like that. And she said that there are probably some undercover lesbians in this group. I was like, well, that on that note, Marlo, I absolutely do agree with you that there might be some undercover lesbians in this group. And I think Drew might be one of them, unfortunately. Like, sorry, Drew. Sorry, Drew. Just gotta be real with you, sis. Gotta be real. So yeah, let's pause here, you guys, and move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, oh God. All right, you guys. So Courtney, I gotta keep it real and a buck with you guys. Courtney is so insufferable. She's irritating. She's annoying. She can go, right? So the next day, this day that we're on right here, the girls, actually, let me back up real quick. So Manietta, she's still sitting there talking to Kenya, right? So I guess the night before, after Drew and Candy had left, right? It was just Sheree, Manietta, Marlo, Courtney, Sheree, Marlo, Sonia, Manietta, and Courtney, right? So they were all still in a room with each other, and I guess at one point they were trying to tell Manietta, not Manietta, but they were trying to tell Courtney that she shouldn't trust Drew. And I was like, wow, that's very interesting. And see, that's one of the things with this season that's also getting on my nerves is you can see the divide with the group. This is, at least with the talls and the smalls, that was fun. Like, that was funny and fun. This right here, it just, it's not fun. It's not fun. And I guess, you know, Courtney is going to be like a little lapdog and just go along with it. I don't know and I don't care, right? But I find it quite odd that they're telling, you know, Courtney not to trust Drew. And let me talk about something else real quick while we're at it. Sheree. Sheree has the audacity to sit here and talk about Drew being a liar. Sheree, you're the biggest liar on this cast. It took you 14 years to come out with She by Sheree, and you still didn't come out with that stuff that you had on the runway. Anytime you fucking lie, you stutter. So Sheree, go to hell and shut the fuck up, right? Because you're the biggest liar. So if Drew is a liar, so are you. You guys are in great company with each other, right? So we find out that the ladies are going to be going to do a sound bath. I was like, didn't they already do somebody already did a sound bath. I saw a sound bath on one of these shows. You know, when it comes to the sound baths, I mean, if that's what people want to do, that's what they want to do. Now, I will say when they showed that one interview of Kenya talking about she doesn't take baths, that she rarely takes baths, I was like, y'all are shady as fuck. And then she's talking about, and then they flip to the scene where she's saying she's still itching. I'm like, y'all are so shady, producers. I think what she probably meant was she rarely takes baths because she takes showers more than she does anything, you know, sitting in a bathtub. But I don't even know why she would say that, because a sound bath is just a sound, just the bowls with the noise. So that was a little interesting, right? So then we on the bus, Manietta, I like you, girl, right? But the rapping, can we just kind of never do that again? No shade to you. Let's just never do it again. And then Marlo, you guys, I tweeted this last night to Andy. Like, can we just reduce Marlo back to a friend of the Housewives? I think Marlo was better as a friend of instead of an actual housewife. We can take her peach and give it to somebody else. I just don't know who we can give it to, but at this point, she can go. 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 So we get to the sound bath, right? And I really want to pay no attention because at this point, this is when I realized that the episode was an hour and 15 minutes long, and I was like, this episode is an hour and 15 minutes long, and I was just sitting here thinking to myself, like, why is that the case? Why is this episode an hour and 15 minutes long? This episode already is just dull and boring as hell. Hell, I felt like Marlo when she said she went to sleep when they had the sound bath. I was like, I went to sleep through this episode. So, touche. I want to say something about Kenya, right? Because Kenya was, she had a little effect with this sound bath, I guess, right? And she was talking about the fact that, what did she do to deserve Brooklyn? And I was like, oh, Kenya. I'm like, and you guys, I like Kenya. These last few seasons, I have grown to like Kenya, and I will say, Kenya, you are a great person, and you absolutely does. Brooklyn is what we see of her. She's such a sweet, beautiful little girl, right? And that's a direct representation of yourself, right? We do see the shady, messy side of you on this show, but when we look at Brooklyn, we were able to see, the positive sides of you. So yeah, you definitely deserve your daughter. But you guys, I'll pause here and move forward and actually wrap up this episode because, like I said, this episode didn't give me nothing. I was bored. Let's pause here and move forward. All right, you guys. So they went out to eat, and they discussed what happened the night before. I was like, why are we continuing to bring up this situation about if Drew and LaToya kissed? Why do we care? So Marlo, they talked about the fact that Marlo sent LaToya that text message, right? Marlo, I need you to do one thing for me. Learn how to fucking spell. You spelled lying wrong. Oh, you spelled lying wrong, my girl. Lying is not spelled Lieing. I was like, and then she capitalized the L. I was like, you do know it's spelled L. You drop the E at a Y and ing. It's Lying, not Lieing. And then, like, girl, learn how to spell, right? So, Drew kept reading the shit out of Marlo, and I was here for it, and I was cracking the fuck up. Because Drew told Marlo to worry about getting her record expunged and worry about them hair follicles that ain't growing. I was like, not her hair follicles. Oh my God. It was funny to me. I was like, Drew, stay on her neck. Like, I was here for it, you guys. So then Kenya asked Courtney, like, do you want to tell Drew what the other ladies were saying, right? So Courtney got in her feelings about that. And I was like, you dingbat. She didn't say that you said anything about Drew. She was saying, do you want to tell Drew what Sheree, Marlo, Sonia, what they were saying to you about not trusting Drew? And nope, she didn't want to say it. Courtney, you guys, got to be honest with you. Courtney is a lame ass person. I was just like, girl. Then she wanted to talk about, Kenya's karma about her falling on the ground. I was like, that wasn't karma, ma'am. That could happen to anybody. Like, that could happen to anybody. Like, you guys, when it comes down to Courtney, I'm so sorry. If anybody out there likes Courtney, I'm sorry to tell you, but your girl is whack. She's lame, and she can go, because how was that woman falling karma? And then let's just keep it a buck. Kenya is a woman of a particular age, so I'm actually happy that Kenya was able to get up, because Kenya's got to be in her, at this point, Kenya is in her 50s, right? So you fall, and when you get down, it ain't that easy to get up. It ain't that easy to get up, but she did. And Courtney, I don't know if you were looking for I think you were just looking for a moment, my love. I really think that's what you were doing, was looking for a moment, but it fell flat. Now, in the last episode, did I think you gathered Kenya? Yes. This episode, not really. And I did finally realize what Kenya was talking about. Courtney does talk with her hands. She is very handsy. And I'm like, lady, you're like a walking chihuahua. Like, calm down. Calm down, sis. I have a feeling that she'll be back for a second season as a friend of. I know a lot of people say don't bring her back, but you guys, I think she's gonna come back for another season. I really do. I would hate it, but I do believe she'll be back for another season. So after that, we see them and they went to dinner, right? So we have another mention of Martell. Anytime that they mention Martell, you guys, I just like, oh, why do we have to mention that man's name? Can we say anybody's name but Martell's? Like, the fuck? It's just like a cash, it's like a cash grab. It's like, and it's so interesting. I think it's very interesting and very telling how on this show, if you listen to the shit that mind you, they don't show everything with him in it when he calls Sheree, right? But it's very interesting, and I don't know if Sheree is paying attention to this, if she's watched Huntsville and her show together, because he was talking about them not having, he was talking about sex with them, right? But you typically have sex. Now, you can have sex with somebody who is just a friend, right? And that's fine. But the way she talks about him on this show, and then when we hear his voice, it's a stark comparison to what happens on Love and Marriage Huntsville, because Love and Marriage Huntsville, that man does not claim you. He does not do anything involving the letters Y-O-U, Sheree. But, y'all out, and they love to talk about the fact that Kenya rents men. Well, Sheree is doing the same thing too. Because I feel like Tyrone might have been rented, and I damn sure feel like Martell is rented. Like, you can't tell me anything otherwise. I believe that both those men were rented. So go to hell, Sheree. So then we get to Drew, right? So Drew is talking about, she and Ralph, and I think at this point the writings are on the wall. I think we're starting to see the cracks in that marriage, because she was talking about they made it past the 7-year itch. Y'all made it past the 7-year itch, but shit, on year 8, Humpty Dumpty had his great fall, and you ain't putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, right? Because she was talking about the fact, so they asked her, is she and Ralph still in counseling? She says she is, but Ralph isn't. I was like, Drew, wake up and smell that morning coffee, sis. I need you to wake up and smell the coffee, because you're still in counseling, but your husband ain't. We gotta think about that one. Why am I still here in counseling, but you ain't? You're not, right? Marlo, I want to say this to you too, Marlo. You a miserable old person. Like, I know you thought it might have been funny to say in that interview that Ralph is in Vegas on the strip with whatever girl he's with. I know that might have been a look. I know you might have thought that was clever and funny, but it really isn't. Like, you love to talk about people's relationships, but you won't have one of your own. Listen, I'm not even gonna go there, right? But I love the fact that at this table, Drew continued to read the fuck out of Marlo. And you guys, I want to point something out, because I saw this on Twitter and I can't remember who said it, but somebody said it so well on Twitter, how in season 12, all the ladies were upset with Giovanna because of, the snake gate, right? And record, I'm using air quotes because I don't remember if that was real or not, but recording Cynthia saying that, talking about Nene, right? They all had such an issue with that, but, well, hell, half of these girls won their season 12 though, but that's neither here nor there, right? But y'all had an issue with that, but now that Marlo is recording Drew, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all, right? So, at the table, they decided to bring up Courtney speaking about Kenya's karma, right? Like I said a few minutes ago, how is it karma? Like, girl, shut. Oh, Jesus. I just don't like that lady. I don't like Courtney. Her face, everything about Courtney annoys me. Her face, her voice, her handiness. It all just annoys the shit out of me when I look at that woman. So the last day, the women went wine tasting and they had a great time. It looks like it. But like I said, this episode was just boring as hell. And so while they were sitting there doing the wine tasting, Marlo got a text message from Ralph. And basically the text message told Marlo to keep his name out of her mouth. And she apologized to Drew. And I'm like, girl, that apology is as fake as that wig on your head. But hey, that's it, you guys. Like I said, this episode was just boring as hell. Why were they teaching those people how to do the cuff it challenge? When I realized they were teaching them people how to do the cuff it challenge, I cracked up laughing, you guys. But hey, that was the episode. It, like I said, it didn't give me much of anything. But let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comment section below, you guys. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.